An inescapable connection. It's the perfect time to be transformed. I'm Mike Morrison with 2 minutes of insight and inspiration. Welcome to 2 Minute Transformation. As I mentioned on yesterday's webcast, there is an inescapable connection between our transformation and our worship. Jesus makes a deliberate stop at a well and engages a Samaritan woman in conversation with the intent to transform her life. The Master tears down the walls of racial bigotry as he converses with her in John's Gospel chapter 4. After all, the kind of deep transformation that Jesus offers us transcends the tones of our skin or the origins of our natural birth. It brings us to a place of human equality void of such petty divisions, where in fact it's not about us at all, but all about Him. That place is worship. I'm taken in by the sight in which Jesus chooses to meet her. It wasn't at a cathedral or church house, no sanctuaries, fellowship halls, or inviting little church coffee corners here. Just a woman fetching water from a common well. Isn't that a perfect picture of worship? When I was a kid, there was a well pump on a lot in the middle of our community where we'd go by and each of us would take turns to see if we had it in us to pump it hard and fast enough to get a flow of water. It took effort. It took our all. But when that water started to flow, it was its own reward. In verses 23 and 24, Jesus says to her, "But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such to worship Him. God is spirit, and those who worship Him must worship in spirit and truth." At the well of worship, Jesus says, in essence, that among the pompous and the posers, there are those who have it in them to pump the well and get a flow of water. He calls them true worshipers. He says that they will worship in spirit and truth. The thing about a well is that what you get out of it really depends on the measure and the effort you put into it. A small cup and a little effort will yield a little refreshment. A large bucket and a big effort will yield a lot of refreshment, and you'll be transformed.